course I'm sure. I'm sure about everything. There's only 3 words that I don't know. You want to know what they are? I don't know. Get it? Nothing can make water impure, you idiot. So, when my followers find water with used menstrual cloths and dead dogs and feces floating in it, I just tell them, go do that voodoo that you do. Peace be upon me.
And I have to point out, this isn't just your followers. You also use this water. So this is Sunan Abu Dawud number 67. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri narrated that he heard someone say to the Messenger of Allah, water is drawn out for you from the well of Buddha, while it is a well in which dog carcasses, menstruation rags, and filth are thrown. So the Messenger of Allah replied, indeed, water is pure and nothing impurifies it. So you use this to wash yourself.
I don't know whether to laugh or cough. Yes, both I and my companions would wash our faces and our mouths and our nostrils with water from a well that had used, menstrual rags in it, dead dogs, and human feces floating in it. I believe you people call those floaters. What's your point? As I said, water is not made impure by anything. Which part of anything didn't you understand, stupid wood?
Well, my concern, Prophet Muhammad, is that if you're rubbing water all over you, and that water comes from a well with used menstrual rags.
It's not all I rub all over me.
Used menstrual. We're gonna get to that. Used menstrual rags, dead dog carcasses, and human urine and feces. You're getting some serious germs all over you. But then you spread those germs even more. Let's read a few. Let's read a few more passages here. Sahih al-Bukhari 54:56 narrated Ibn Abbas, the Prophet said, when you eat, do not wipe your hands till you have licked it or had it licked by somebody else. So you either lick your own hand or you have it licked by someone else. So you and your followers lick each other's hands. That's just nasty. Sahih Muslim 52:94, it was narrated that Ibn Abbas said, the Messenger of Allah said, when one of you eats some food, let him not wipe his hand until he has licked it or had it licked. Why, in the name of common sense, do you want your followers to lick each other's hands and fingers?
How about why not in the name of Allah? Alhamdulillah. They will indeed get a blessing by licking my hands and sucking on my fingers. I think you're just jealous you've not been invited to the party. You know what I mean?
This is...
Excuse me just a minute. I believe Mary the Copt is here. She's getting ready to come tell me some bedtime stories after
we knew she was on her way. We knew that.
Just a minute.
So, the source here on what the Prophet Muhammad just declared. Sahih Muslim 5300. It was narrated from Jabir that the Prophet enjoined licking one's fingers from the plate, and he said, you do not know in which part the blessing is. So the idea here is that during every meal, Allah hides a blessing somewhere in the food. So when you finish your meal, you don't want to wipe your hands off with a napkin, and you certainly don't want to wash your hands, because the blessing may be hidden in a particle of food that's still on your hands. And therefore, if you want the blessing for yourself, you suck your own fingers and lick your own hands clean. But if you want to be a blessing to someone else, you give the blessing to them by having them suck on your fingers and lick your hands clean. So you finish your meal and have other people suck on your fingers and lick your hands clean. And so Prophet Muhammad, you have acknowledged this. You've acknowledged this. And I just want to remind you here, your hands and your fingers that you are having your followers suck on so that they can get a blessing, those hands and fingers would be covered with the used menstrual cloth, dead dog, human feces, water you just washed your hands with. Is that correct?
Yes, peace be upon me. By the way, she's going to be reading some of my Gnostic favorites later on. I'm very excited about this. But yes, I already told you that water is not made impure by anything, and I know about pure and impure, okay?
But you don't stop there. In Bukhari, in Bukhari's other main work, number 1183, we read, "It is related that Abu Huraira said, I never saw Al-Hasan without my eyes overflowing with tears. That is because the Prophet, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, went out one day, and I found him in the mosque. He took my hand, and I went along with him. He did not speak to me until we reached the market of Banu Kainuka. He walked around in it and looked. Then he left, and I left with him until we reached the mosque. He sat down and wrapped himself in his garment. Then he said, 'Where is the little one? Call the little one to me.' Hassan came running and jumped into his lap. Then he put his hand in his beard. Then the Prophet, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, opened his mouth and put his tongue in his mouth. Then he said, 'O Allah, I love him, so love him and the one who loves him.'"
You're giving me the warm fuzzies by reading these precious memories.
According to another hadith, Musnad Ahmed 16,245, you would suck on the tongues and lips of little boys, and just as you told your followers that they would get a blessing by sucking on your fingers and licking your hands, you also guaranteed that if you sucked on a boy's tongue or lips, that boy's tongue or lips would never be tormented by hellfire.
Yes, peace be upon me, peace be upon me. When I suck a little boy's tongue, that little boy's tongue is eternally protected from the punishment of the great God Allah. And people say that I never performed any miracles.
It certainly is miraculous. Prophet Muhammad, Islam's most trusted sources also say that you would have sex with 9 women and girls a night, possibly 11, but that you would only take 1 bath. Let's read these sources real quick. Sahih al-Bukhari 5068 narrated Anas, the Prophet used to go around, have sexual relations with all his wives in 1 night, and he had 9 wives. Sahih al-Bukhari 5215 narrated Anas bin Malik, the Prophet used to pass by, have sexual relation with all his wives in 1 night, and at that time he had 9 wives. So we're clear on the sex with 9 women and girls part, but the chapter heading above Sahih al-Bukhari 5215 says, whoever had sexual intercourse with all his wives and then took 1 bath only. Do you mean to tell me that you, the Prophet Muhammad, history's greatest man, would have sex with 9 women and girls in 1 night in Medina, a city with an average high temperature of 109 degrees in the summer, but would only take 1 bath?
You know, I'm sensing a lot of jealousy by you, Mr. Wood, here today. I'm very good at these things, you know. Reading people, not reading books, because as everyone knows, I can't read. But peace be upon me. I mean, it's a desert, David Wood. Why would I waste water by taking more than 1 bath?
Well, I mean, if water isn't made impure by anything, and it doesn't matter what it has floating in it, couldn't you just reuse your bath water?
How much time do you think I have in a day? Do you have any idea how long it takes to have relationships with 9 women and girls in a single evening? If I tried to take a bath after each wife, I'd be up half the night. I mean, I was already up half the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you just can't figure out how to stay clean while having sex with 9 women and girls in a single evening. You could just have sex with 1 wife, so mystery solved. But let's look at one more issue. Sahih al-Bukhari, 232, narrated Aisha, I used to wash the semen off of the clothes of the Prophet, and even then I used to notice one or more semen spots on them. Sahih Muslim, 669, it was narrated that Aisha said concerning semen, I used to scratch it from the garment of the Messenger of Allah. Sunan Ibn Majah, 537, it was narrated that Aisha said, I often scraped the semen from the garment of the Messenger of Allah with my hand. Sahih al-Bukhari 230, narrated Sulaiman bin Yasser, I asked Aisha about the clothes soiled with semen. She replied, I used to wash it off the clothes of the Messenger of Allah, and he would go for the salat, the prayer, while water spots were still visible. Prophet Muhammad,
Yes.
why were you always covered in semen?
Why don't you come see me face to face and I can explain it to you with this?
Look, let me give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that it was your semen. Why were you always covered with your own semen? Masturbation is not allowed, so that wasn't the source of the semen. Coitus interruptus was not allowed, meaning that you weren't allowed to pull out of your wives or your sex slaves. So where was all of this semen coming from?
I mean, there's so many explanations, like many things in Al-Islam. I mean, maybe I'd use my own garment. The garment I wear to mosque, where I worship and pray, as a rag to wipe off my male member after having these sexual relations.
So, let me be clear on this. You would wash your hands and your face with water that has dead animals and menstrual cloths and feces floating in it. Then you'd have your followers suck on your fingers, and you'd tell them that it's so that they can get a blessing. Then you'd suck on a little boy's tongue, and you'd tell him it's to protect his tongue from hellfire. Then you'd climb on all 9 of your wives, have sex with all of them, wipe all of the bodily fluids on your garment, take one bath in who knows what kind of water, then put the same filthy garment back on and head to the mosque so you could lead prayers, and Aisha would have to start rushing to scratch all the semen off of it so that people wouldn't notice?
I'm starting to understand, David Wood, why so many of my followers want to murder you. You ask too many stupid questions. Stupid Wood. And if I ever see your stupid face outside of this box thing, I'm going to take this knife and I'm going to...
Why are you threatening me for quoting you? I understand why your followers get angry and threaten to kill me when I tell them what you did and what you said. It's all new information to them because their leaders always lie to them and keep them in a state of ignorance so that they won't leave Islam as soon as they find out the truth about you. So I understand why when I tell this stuff to them, they threaten to kill me. And I get that. But why are you getting angry when I quote something you said?
Well, peace be upon me. You might be right. Maybe, perhaps. Listen, you have to understand, I'm just a little on edge because I can't get rid of this coronavirus no matter how much of this I drink. I feel sick all day. I keep drinking this camel urine again and again and again. But it just makes me feel even more sick. I don't know what to do. This coronavirus, I don't know.
Have you tried something like Pepto-Bismol?
Did you say a prophet, big mole? My giant mole that proves I'm a prophet? You know how to cheer a guy up, David.
No, I said Pepto-Bismol. You drink it and it makes your stomach feel better.
Well, my sex slave, well, the other sex slave isn't here right now to read it for me. So how would I even know which bottle it's in? As everyone knows, I can't read.
Look, we're here to help, so just grab some bottles and we'll tell you which one is the Pepto-Bismol.
Sure, okay. I've got this right here.
No, that's not Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? I've got this as well. Yeah?
No, that is not Pepto-Bismol either.
Such an elitist. Well, I've also got this one right here. This one?
What do y'all think? Is that is that Pepto-Bismol, everyone? Yeah, why fight it? Mohammed, that is definitely a bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
I'm just saying this will help my problems from the coronavirus.
All you have to do is drink that.
So I should just drink this. You wouldn't be performing taqi on me or anything.
Thanks to your servant and worshiper, Adnan Rashid, I'm just going to say, yes, take a big old drink, and that'll make you feel better.
Yeah. This tastes terrible. This tastes worse than water from a well with dead animals and human waste and menstrual cloths floating in it.
Well, no pain, no gain. You'll start feeling better here real soon.
Hey, that's the motto. That should be the motto for my religion. No pain, no gain, or perhaps your pain, my gain, or something like that, or lots of pain. I mean, well, no. Wait a minute.
You're trying.
After drinking his Pepto-Bismol, I'm feeling uncomfortable, as if my aorta is being severed.
Oh, you feel your aorta being severed? Just like Allah said he would do in the Quran if you were to invent a false revelation. Allah said in the Quran that if you were to fabricate a revelation, he would sever your aorta and you would feel your aorta being severed?
Yes, I feel my aorta being severed. This might be proof I'm a false prophet. Oh, Allahu Akbar!
Wow. I can't believe he's gone. But I think we've all learned a valuable lesson today. You non-Muslims have learned that the Prophet Muhammad was the filthiest, most disgusting person who ever walked the planet. He's the last person anyone should ever listen to if you want to know anything about personal hygiene or the spread of disease. How much less should you trust him when it comes to matters of eternal significance? But you Muslims have also learned a valuable lesson. Don't cross a line with me. Don't cross a line with me again, because trust me on this one, there is no limit to the ways that I can torment your fake prophets on my channel. If you think you're good enough to attack Nabil in a video, I assure you, I will be better at attacking your prophet than all of you put together will ever be at attacking anyone. And if you don't believe me, I guess we'll be meeting again. Probably really soon. See you later.